Hello friends, this is our second lecture and probably the last one on My Mother at 66. It's an autobiographical poem, we can say. A daughter's pain, the feeling of pain and ache. Pain and what is the difference between pain and ache? Pain can be, I think it's an outside experience, but ache comes from the mind. Do you agree with me? I don't know. Okay. So we have seen My Mother at 66 and the poetess, she is known as Kamala Das, Madhavikutty pen name, Kamala Suayya her Muslim name, then Aami her pet name. So that her readers, those who, the fans, she has fans now, her fans, they call her Aami. And she is a versatile genius and a writer, all those things we have already seen. Now, as we have Gatha, it created really violent commotion in the society when it was, in the social circles, when it was first published. Okay, these things we have seen. Now, some more points that we have seen. This is a journey poem. Then he says, the journey is continuous, so no full stop. She's playing with punctuation marks, you can see. In poem, no full stop, nothing. It begins, it ends, like a journey. Probably as we guessed, there would have been no traffic block or any traffic signal stopping them. Maybe, that we do not know. Then another thing we have seen, this is a simple experience. That is a mother and a daughter, and the daughter's feelings towards an aged mother, anxiety, what would happen here and so on. But this simple thing has been defamiliarized, means made strange, isn't it? And that's why you are attracted by that. And for that, poets, writers, they use many devices. The simple experience is transformed in the smithy of the artist's mind. As I have told you that James Joyce portrayed the artist as a young man says about that. It is smithy of the artist's mind. Transformation takes place, and for that transformation means change, and for that you need poetic devices. So the first question will be, what are the poetic devices used by the poets? Now you can see the question number 1, comparison. Action like the corpse, that comparison is there. Contrast, that is, in one place you find the late winter's moon, but soon you will find that there is a contrast, spilling out children, gusty children, lively, very merry, happy and gay. Such children spilling out, means coming out spontaneously. That is spilling out means. And then also you have got another contrast there, springing trees. The trees springing means very young and very flourishing, flowery, full of fruits. So you find what you call a feeling of richness there. Life, full of life and also richness. So that is the contrast. Then next one is, next point to note is, contrast transferred epithet. Epithet, I already know, this is adjective. Late winter's moon. See that? Here it is. Late moon in winter. That should be the epithet late adjective should go with moon, not with winter. So that moving, so that is transferring the epithet, that's called transferred epithet. So you are attracted to that. Something strange you feel. Late winter, again there can be late winter. Winter will come exactly at the same time. It's a rhythm. But on the other hand, it's a late winter, that's why you are attracted. That's why I said no, that is devices used. Late winter's moon. Yes. A late moon in winter season. Late moon maybe say at 3 o'clock or 2 o'clock or 4 o'clock and so on. So not some days it happens, no? the moon rises sometimes 3 in the morning, sometimes 4 in the morning. It was so late. At that time, what happens? Why is late? It's all foggy. You won't see anything, you can't see anything. Pale. It's a pale moon. So that is, then another is that playing with punctuation. As we have already seen, that is start sentence, nothing else. So that is, these are the ways by which the poet defamiliarizes, or you can say makes a simple idea, he makes a simple emotion, so you can say, is very strange. That are poetic devices. Second question is, how does the poet describe her mother sitting beside her, dosed, open mouth, her face ashen like that of a corpse, as old as she looked. So this is how she described, as old as she looked. The other I told about Sandhu's advertisement. So, mommy, your mommy. So that means she is not, that woman appearing in that advertisement is not as old as she looks. See, that's the point. Many people are like that, as old as she looks. Some people are older than. So in this case it is saying old as she looks. So that makes her very sad. That is the thing. And then third question is, when she looked at her again, how did the poet feel? Security check and so on. She was as a late winter's moon. That is the most beautiful comparison in this poem. Late winter's moon. So poetic. And you will find, if T.S. Eliot would read that line, he would say there is a sensibility. That is, there is a unification of sensibility. He would say like that, I think. Because late winter's moon, like very often T.S. Eliot quotes these lines now. Keep up your bright swords, or the dew will rust them, in Othello. And according to Eliot, that's the most poetic line that ever written by Shakespeare. That is the thing. That is so. The whole thing, looks so unified. A unification of sensibility. As lots of things, I just what do you call it? It's a deviation, or leave it. Delete all those things, okay. If not useful to you. Okay, what she looked at, she was late and distant. Fourth question is, what are the conflicting emotions here? Realized with pain that she was as old as she looked. Old familiar ache, anxiety about becoming old one day. That is also there. When looking at her mother, she thinks, after all, she is a woman, a poetess, so she has got that sensibility. And then so she thought probably she might have had a vision of how she would look when she would also become old. So that anxiety is there. That was there with every poet. Even Shakespeare had. That's the thing. So anxiety, and anticipated the miserable condition of aged people. That's the most important thing. That is the lesson that you have to learn from this poem. You should anticipate the miserable conditions of, or aware of the miserable conditions of old people, aged people, and then in that case, what you can do now? Something you can do now. You can visit an old age home. You can visit say you can go to a nearby house where there are only the husband and wife, old aged people. They are the aged couple living all alone. Their children, they are in America, England, New Zealand, and all those things, but they are there. So if you go there, definitely they will welcome you, and you can spend a lot of time with them. So that's a good thing that you can learn from this, and something that you can do also, some good thing. In a way, this is a great charitable deed if you can go and comfort at least one person. That is. So 8 people. And then, how does the poet escape from such thoughts? By looking out and watching the gusty children. Gusty means full of life. That is gusty means full of life. Spilling out, and the flourishing trees springing. So that is And then the four verbs, that four pillars of this poem, holding, that is saw, and then looked, said, did. Now what is it? He said, no? I saw my mother, that's one thing. I looked again, and I said, see you soon, Amma. And I did, that is smile, smile as well. These are the four action words in this, or four pillars of this small edifice. Edifice means structure. Edifice, E-D-I-F-I-C, edifice. So that is a structure. The structure, this poetic structure is held aloft by these four words. That is, saw my mother, looked again, then said, see you soon, and did smile. Understand? Now if you go through the poem once again, you will see that driving from my parents' home to Cochin last Friday morning, I saw my mother beside me, doors, open mouths, her face ashen like that of a corpse, and realized with pain that she was as old as she looked. If she looked younger than what, or younger, less old or younger, in that case, she would have been happier, I think. So, realize that, at that time that she realized that she was as old as she looked. If she was not as old as she looked, I think that this much of problem or such emotions, pain and ache, etc., would not have arisen in her mind. The realization that my mother is aging, the realization that my mother is getting old, the realization that my mother is getting old and she would be suffering like any other aged woman, the realization that there is no support for my aged mother because I am leaving today. So that age. Then more than that she says, but soon put that thought away and looked out at young trees sprinting, the merry children spilling. Understand? And then after spilling out of their homes, but after the airport security check, standing a few yards away, I looked again at her. When as a late windish moon, and felt the old familiar ache, my childhood's fear. That is the familiar ache from my heart, my mind. Childhood's fear, what? Growing up. And you are each day, probably because she was a quite sensibility, so she might have thought of one day I'll also be an aged woman, and then what will happen? These are the things. But all I said was, see you soon, Amma. See you soon, Amma. That may not be that may not be something. There may not be sincerity in what you said. It's a kind of escape at that time. See you soon. See you soon. You may or may not. Or full of hope. The thoughts that is full of. See you soon again, Amma. All I did was smile. 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 It's not 3 smiles. Continuous smile. Not that one smile, second smile, third smile like that. Not like that. Smile. Smile, smile, smile. Understand? It's a very beautiful piece. As I told you, after learning, see, after every lesson you have some good things to do. You can see that. Every lesson. In the last lesson, which was the first lesson, is the patriotism, love for one's country, love for one's language and so on. Last spring we saw that you should sympathize and empathize, should feel empathy for the poor children Then we saw the third one was then you have, of course, you have got the rat trap. See, lost spring rat trap. Rat trap also we found, no? That is, should be very careful in the sense that don't trap others. If you trap others, you will be trapped. Deep water, that is the ability, determination. In your life also there should be. You know that the lions hunting for prey, 75 times they fail. That is 75% failure. Only 25% they succeed. That doesn't mean that they stop doing it. They stop hunting for prey. Imagine a lion hunting for its prey, then it's hungry, fails 75 times, and only 25 times the lion becomes successful in hunting its prey. But still it goes on. So that's what you should learn from deep water. Then you found that indigo, again, struggle for independence. As I said, the battle of Plassey and the battle for Champaran. That's the contrast. Okay? And then you have got, all these. So you have got something to learn, some good to do to the society. And in this case, it is, I have already told you, aged people. Sympathize. Do something for the aged people. Understand? So the poem comes to an end like that. You have also got, if you want to find out internal rhyme, sprinting, spilling, ing. Internal rhyme is called. Same line you have got. So one more poetic device you can identify if you want to. Internal rhyme. Internal rhyme. And also you have got two emotions, nostalgia, mother's childhood days and mother, and also anxiety. So she is afraid, so she is very anxious about her mother, she is anxious about herself, she is anxious about all the aged people. So it's the kind of, you can see the three reasons why she is, three-way anxiety you can see. Just as we say three-way switch, like that, this is a three-way anxiety poem. Alright, so I'll read out once again the poem and then we'll say goodbye to this. Driving from my parents' home to Cochin last Friday morning, I saw my mother beside me, doors, open mouth, her face ashen like that of a corpse, and realized with pain that she was as old as she looked. But soon put the thought away and looked out at young trees sprinting, the merry children spilling out of their home. But after the airport security check, standing a few yards away, I looked again at her, wan as a late window's moon, and felt that old familiar ache, my childhood's fear. But all I said was, see you soon, Amma. I did not share that fear with her. And I thought that it will aggravate her sadness. So I did not share my childhood fear. I left it as such. But all I said was, see you soon, Amma. And all I did was smile, smile, smile. Bye. Have a nice day.